Thank you so much for watching. This is the layout I made and I'm going to do my process video on. It's a remake of this layout right here. Yikes! This is from when I was in the 3rd grade. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I was actually in the 2nd grade, but I was a scrapbooker at a young age. And in high school, I made this page and labeled it as 3rd grade. So it needs to be redone as a 2nd grade page, and I put it together with rubber cement, and I'm trying really hard to get all the rubber cement out of all of my albums. So you can see I'm trying to take this apart as gingerly as I can. I used tape on the back of the photo, not rubber cement, but unfortunately I taped the front of the photo, and the back of the photo is pretty orangey. So I don't know if I've done permanent damage or not. So I'm going to try to get as much of this stuff off as I can, and without tearing the original photo, because to my knowledge, this is the only school picture I have of this, particular picture. So I want to make sure that I preserve it the best I can. So I'm using this Tombow sand eraser. It's probably not the right tool. I could not find, I have this adhesive eraser. I just could not find it. So I'm just trying to knock down all the old adhesive on the back, and so that I can run it through my scanner, because I have a feed scanner, not a flatbed scanner, that I'm going to use. So you can see I'm just trying to get rid of it all. Sorry, my head's poking in there a little bit here and there. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to attempt to get rid of some of the adhesive on the front. And again, I'm just trying to kind of get rid of the bulk of it. I'm not going to be able to sand it all down or erase it all off. I'm afraid I'm going to get to the original picture, and I don't know what to do at this point. So I'm just doing the best I can with what tools I have. So I'm just going to call this as good as it gets, and I'm just going to take this photo on over to my scanner. You can see my scanner printer set up. You just put it in face down in the scanner. What you don't see off camera is I cleaned it really good to make sure all the dust was off of it, because if there's a little bit of dust, you'll get scratch marks or artifacts in your photo. So I know this picture was from 1985 because I was in the 2nd grade, not the 3rd grade, like I said, when I was in high school, but I was actually a 2nd grader, and that was, I'm going to guess, 1985. This was a school picture, and we typically took school pictures in the fall of 1985. So I'm actually putting that into this scanner software, and I'm calling it by name. And so now this picture will have with it that date. So when I take it to Google Photos or anything else, it'll have that date with us. And you can see this is why I use this scanner. It runs it right through in about 5 or 6 seconds. I'm just going back to my computer screen now to check it to make sure. Sometimes it can distort the pictures if it catches on like some of that adhesive or anything. Looks good. I airdrop it to my iPad. So here I am on my iPad. I'm going to go ahead and edit it. I sometimes tend to brighten all my photos. I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't know why I keep doing it. I think it looks really good. So I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to digitally remove all the little spots and specks and things from my photo. And you're going to see, I'm going to go in, and where this adhesive kind of got stuck, I'm just going to remove it. I could probably crop this photo, but I can remove that and you'll never know it was there. And I'm just going to kind of work gingerly down through here, just a little bit at a time. This is an app called Touch Retouch that I use on my iPad. And you can see I'm using my Apple Pencil, which I highly recommend if you do a lot of photo editing, which I do a lot of photo editing. As you can see, I will do this pretty regularly. And I don't think it's a tough process. Just go in, do it right quick. And I guess it might take you a little longer if you're, on a learning curve, but to me, this process is quick, easy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, I'm done editing. So I'm now going to, this app called Print to Size, and you can basically tell it, I have 8.5 by 11 printer paper, or I'm sorry, photo paper that I print on. So I'm actually going to go in here and make it, it's going to be a little more than a 5 by 7 because it's not perfect or exact going from these different sizes. So it's going to be just slightly wider. I'm sorry, just slightly taller. I think it's a 5 by 7.5, but that's okay. So now I've taken it to the iPrint, which is an Epson program, and it will allow me to print straight from my iPad to my printer, which is an Epson Artisan 1430. And you can see it's just going to come right out of here. This is a wide format printer. I love this printer, and I highly recommend this to anybody. You can see it's just such an easy process to print right at home, what size I want, what size I need. And I know you're going, that's a lot of work. You guys, this whole layout from grabbing my picture and getting this all done was no more than half an hour on this one page. So you can see I've pulled it in and I'm kind of showing you, I lighten my photos, and I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do or not. I kind of need to, think about that more. So I'm going to go and get my paper drawer and my embellishment drawer, because that's literally all I have is a tiny little drawer of stuff, and just begin to go through it. You can see, I kind of have a thought in my mind about, I want to say bright and vibrant, but this is kind of a muted photo at the end of the day. And I have this paper that I printed a while back from Kristen Cronenborough, and I love it so much. And I think that's what I want to use, but I just want to make sure, because I have several different things and I could use, and this paper is so cute too. I don't know. This one's good too. It's another Kristen Cronenborough. Her papers are just delightful. She's a digital designer, but I print them out 12 by 12 on my wide format printer and use them in my paper scrapbooks and don't have any problems with it. So you can see I'm going through, this is the Twilight line by One Canoe 2. And I'm just kind of going through what little bits of collections and things that I do have, just trying to find something that will coordinate, look good, go with the photo, go with the colors. And I think I'm just going to have to stop. I just really like this digital paper that I've printed. I've been wanting to use it for a while. I think this is just the perfect opportunity to use it. So I'm going to get all my papers stacked back up and go put those away and get out my embellishment drawer. And it's embarrassingly small, but that's okay. I have a very, very small stash. So it doesn't take me very long to kind of go through it and pull out anything that might work. And you can see I just don't have much. These little wood veneers came in, I got a wild hair kit last week, and she sent these wood veneers, and then she also sent these thickers that I'm getting ready to use here in a little bit. But I thought these wood veneers were perfect for this paper that I'm kind of wanting to use. So I'm kind of looking it over. I don't have much. I have wood veneer and some papers. So I'm going to have to add. I need more layers. This isn't enough. But I'm going to go ahead and crop my picture so that I can kind of begin to see visually how I want this to look. And I don't have any, hard, fast rule. I just kind of eyeball and cut and hope it turns out okay. Maybe if you measured, it might be a little off, but to the naked eye, to me, I don't really notice it. So I'm going to put it here. I want to kind of split these papers. I printed them like this after watching a Chamel video where she basically used a 12 by 12 and then she put a 12 by 6 right over the top of it. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. When I print papers digitally, I can use it like that, or I can cut them up if I want to. So I'm going to use it just like this. And I'm actually looking through another Chamel. This is a 6 by 6 paper pad. And this little polka dot has caught my eye, and I think I am going to try to use it. It just has the perfect pop of color, and it seems to kind of coordinate with the paper really well. So I'm just going to see if there's anything else in here. Always checking cut aparts. I didn't know the 2 might work, but it's not going to work in this case. And just keep looking to see what I think might go. And then I have a few other little paper pads or tag books and things that I'm going to look through. And this one I'm going to really give it a good look through, because these have a lot of lines, and I could use it as a journaling block or cut it apart and use some of the individual elements. And so I'm going to give it a really good look-see. I'm not sure. I'm not really seeing what I want. So I'm going to kind of go back through this. I think this could work for a journaling block, and it's already kind of decorated, which is good because I don't have a lot of embellishments. So I'm going to kind of get these papers prepared, lay them down, and see what I can come up with. I'm a big follower of Chamel, even though you would never know it based on looking at my pictures. I just have too small of a stash to try to quote unquote compete with what she has, or to try to mimic, maybe would be the better word. But I do use a lot of her design principles in my scrapbooking. It just seems to click with me. So here's those thickers that I was telling you about that I got in the Wild Hair kit. And I think they're going to make the perfect title. Here in a second, you're going to see, I got a phone call while I was recording and I didn't think about it. I took the call and kept scrapbooking. So I apologize that you're going to miss out on me making a lot of decisions. I hem-hawed back and forth what embellishments I wanted to use, how I wanted to do the title. And ultimately, the stickers did not look good with the 2 and the ND for second. And I didn't want to spell out second, maybe because I'm lazy. I'm not really sure. So I ultimately chose 2 different stickers and then a thickers for my title. And I hem-hawed with the paper alignment and everything. And eventually got down to being able to put a few embellishments on the page. And I'm happy with it. So you can see I go to put the ND and it's just not what I wanted. So I'm going to have to choose something else. So this is what I finally came up with. And you can see I found 3 piles of stickers, if you will, with a title across the top. And then that's kind of an embellishment layer there. And then a tiny little embellishment to make my triangle of embellishments. And that is really how I completed this page. I'll add some journaling and it'll be done. So here's the completed page. Thanks for joining me today. Have a good one. Bye.